What's up, gays, straights, and other days? It's Mally. I'm back with an episode of Lady Mystery, and it is quiet now all of a sudden. What the hell is going on? We're here with Leader Kong now for some... Oh, that's right. It's been a hot second since I recorded this. So we were trying to find a boat to smuggle these girls out of this place so that they could have a better life. But then Yurin's little group apparently has some business here as well. So she's pretty pissed. Okay, cool. Glad we're back here. Who tried to trade our product illegally with a boat that was supposed to be destroyed? Leader Kong's loud voice resonated in the air. Then I caught her eye. Leader Kong got surprised and stopped. Mr. Hisu. Yes, that is me. Songbong was quite close to there. No, I'm romancing Seon. Wait, where's Seon? Wait, what? Okay, we're still together. Dom and I were led to the west building where Leader Kong's residence is, and Leader Kong went out after telling us to wait here since she has some jobs to take care of. Seon was standing in the corner for a while like her feet were stuck, and then finally started talking to me carefully. Oh, are we in this very cramped room alone together? Oh, how romantic, I say as we're in the custody of one of my former love interests. Is she the leader of Songbong? Then the door opened suddenly from the back. Are you Damo from Uppocheon? I think I saw you from the distance a couple of times. Hey, Yurin? Back off. I'm Jae-seon. I've known people from the Pocheon for 5 years now, so Leader Kong is at least familiar with their faces. As Seon bowed in an awkward and stiff manner, Leader Kong bowed even lower. Is she interested? Oh my god, you're so shameless. Then again, so am I. But then they just exchanged names and Leader Kong wasn't interested in her anymore. I find that hard to believe. I heard that you're looking for a boat to go to Incheon. Can I ask what this is about? Well, it's quite complicated, and you being here complicates it even more. I couldn't just say it right away. While I was hesitating, some servants came and gave me new cushions and provided tea and snacks. God, fucking... I don't know if she's still trying to woo me or what, but Jesus... Leader Kong didn't rush me and just picked a snack slowly. Kept waiting without saying anything until the 3 cups are filled with hot water. Then let me guess. Then Leader Kong started to throw the water from the cup. What? What are you doing? There have been a few incidents at Pocheon. Since I'm a merchant, I only overheard some things about it. But the first one is that Ilgime stole all the wanted posters. It just fizzled out, but it was quite a big deal. The second one is about cracking down the illegal Nobi transaction by both Pocheons. Then I heard Uppocheon lost some kid Nobis. Leader Kong stopped drying the cup with a tea cloth and looked up. Is it possible that they didn't lose them, but somebody let them go? Oh god, I can't take another woman fucking blackmailing me, god damn it. I looked back and forth at Seong and Leader Kong and then gave a sigh. Come to think of it, I completely failed to fool Leader Kong about Juhi before. Leader Kong gave me a look. Well, I mean, since she and I have known each other for 5 years, it's clearly you're not gonna get anything past this lady, especially since she's been watching me as closely as she has. I could feel that she's judging me for being involved in something risky again. It's not just about Nobis. I'm trying to send bastard girls away. They are too young and pitiful, so I'm going to send them away to an island by the boat. Seon eventually told her about it first. Well, I think it's more of her place to say anyway. But isn't that illegal? How can a Damo break the law? I'm a bad influence. Then should I just let the kids die? Even if you do, it's not you who make them die. Even though Leader Kong could feel the change of Seon's tone, she closed the lid of the teapot in a calm manner and poured the tea 3 times. She looked more elegant than any of the other Yongbon. Well, gee, I wonder why. Also, with that logic, you're impersonating some idiot who thinks they are a righteous thief. Are you going to save everyone who's sacrificed by the law? Or just save the kids because they're pitiful, but just leave the other because you're lazy? Don't you think you shouldn't do it like that? You know, Yurin, if you want to help, you can. I'm fucking calling it now. Leader Kong is a fucking pillow princess. Well, that's... So you just let all the other bastard girls die even though they were pitiful, but somehow you felt especially bad for these girls and decided to save them? Yurin, why are you egging her? What is the point of you egging her on? Why? And you broke the law today, but you're going to keep the law again from tomorrow? Seong was looking at the table with her hands on her knees. Why are you doing this? What is your... You have something else that you want here. What do you want? I could see that she's flustered and perplexed. When Leader Kong grabbed the teacup like she doesn't have anything else to say, Seon quickly moved her mouth. I like being a domo. Leader Kong looked up with a slightly surprised face with Seon's sudden announcement. Seon usually doesn't talk much. She even gets herself in trouble for not talking when she has to. So I got surprised as well that she spoke in this urgent manner. I like working for people. I like helping to keep the law, and the harder it gets, the more I feel that this is my vocation. But sometimes the law makes mistakes as all humans. Well, this is what he said though. Seon looked at me for a while. Oh, that's what I said. Aw. I didn't remember when I said that at all. But I know it's arrogant for a government maidservant to try and stop all these mistakes. The reason I decided to step up this time is that the situation happened to be right. Nothing else. See, so you don't have any standard. Yurin, why are you doing this? Why? You can't put other people in danger without any belief. That's just irresponsible. Do I need to have my own special belief? And Seon asked back so confidently. Leader Kong frowned again. I got worried and looked for the right time to interrupt, and then Leader Kong nodded, allowing her to talk more. Well, I don't know yet. The reason I did this is only that I wanted to have clean hands while serving the law in Pocheong. That's all. What I do is not for my justice, so it doesn't matter how my days are going to be different. I'm just working for the Pocheong. I'm not interested in saving my face. Even though she's a damo, she's basically Nobi. What? She could have been slapped by talking this much to Leader Kong regardless of the contents. But Leader Kong wasn't upset at all, rather she was smiling a little. Well, I think Leader Kong values confidence and like having your own beliefs that you stick to. That's an interesting story. I was out of line. Please forgive me. No, you're sticking up for yourself. Come on, babe. He looked back and forth at them and then tried to change the subject. I don't know. Whatever this is, you burnt the whole boat I made a contract with. What are you going to do? I've already paid them all. Already paid like 20 nyang. When I lied between my teeth, Seon got surprised and looked at me. Never signed a contract with that boat. Leader Kong would have already known that what I'm saying is all just a lie. But she just smiled as always and then came forward. Oh, hi? Why don't I get you a nicer boat even if that means I'm taking a risk? What's the catch, Yurin? But I don't know how you ended up being involved in a risky situation again. You made a promise to me before. I'm worried so much that I wish I can go with you. Oh my god. Relentless. I'm taken. Until I do an episode on your route. You're too busy to follow me on this kind of business. Please go away. Temptation does not help. That's true. Leader Kong smiled and then looked up again. By the way, are you doing a favor for Upo Sheong with that Inspector Park, right? Leader Kong mentioned Park Wong-sam, but I really couldn't give less of a shit because that's not who it's for. Even though she just heard what Seon said, I don't think she could imagine that this is solely by Seon alone. Well, she also doesn't really know Seon that well. I mean, I don't either, but I think I know her a little better than you do. I guess she thinks Superintendent Zhang or Inspector Park is involved in this. I mean, that was a guess. It's just the situation that wasn't right. Well, that's... I didn't know what to say, so I mumbled. Then Seon spoke up again. Guess now she's getting comfortable speaking up. That's good! She answered with a more confident voice now. No, I requested this. What did you say? I said I requested this alone to him. I've decided to do this and asked him for help. Leader Kong got quite shocked and then quickly looked at me. A damo from the Pocheong is paying you for your help. Then who paid the boat in the first place? Leader Kong paused while asking again, then just mumbled like she's talking to herself. Okay. Seon said she's going to pay me, but with all the price of the boat and everything, she can't pay me even with all the money she's been saving so far. She's going to try and pay me all somehow, but I don't want to get all the money she's been saving as a government maidservant. When I looked up, Leader Kong was looking at me like she was judging me. That's every time she looks at us, okay? Everyone in this game is constantly fucking judging me. But then she went back to her normal attitude and looked at me differently. Okay, you're smiling at me. Does that class is different? I didn't even expect that it was the request of this damo here. You have to get on a boat to cross the ocean, send about 10 nobi away. You're willing to get all the money from a damo. I know you would take it when you would know how much money a government maidservant makes. Isn't that too cruel? Cruel or not, I'm totally gonna get all the money. Clearly, that's the only reason why I'm doing this. Haha. I tried hard to answer in a way that both Leader Kong and Seong would satisfy, but now that I said it out loud, I felt like it's quite unfair. Why did I agree to lie and take all the risks? What? I can see that I'm this nice. Oh god, no, 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 do not get it twisted. I'm just interested in Seon over here. I'm so nice that I can do like 10 more bad things to keep balance between being nice and me. But other people from the Poshong are going with you, right? What about other people from Zhonghuso? Considering the nature of the request, I decided to keep it myself. No one is coming with us, including Juhi and Wusong, and not to mention people from the Poshong. It's just this Damo and me alone. Then Leader Kong's hand holding a teacup suddenly stopped. Leader Kong took a sip and then smiled with slanted eyes. Is that so? Then I'll go with you, Mr. Hisu. It's really not necessary, please don't. I don't need the temptation. You just said you're busy. No, come to think of it, I'm not. Leader Kong put the teacup down with the brightest smile I've ever seen. Excuse me? Wait, no! No! Stop, I thought the temptation would be over, no! No, this is not gonna end well, oh my god, why? What, is she trying to protect what she thinks is hers? I haven't promised shit yet, hey! Wind was colder on the day we depart on the boat. We've already put bastard girls who couldn't even wash their faces in the fruit boxes and moved them to Songbong on a wagon. Seon and I felt bad about Leader Kong becoming a complete accomplice, but Leader Kong was so calm. She even asked her maid to wash those smelly kids. Leader Kong gave orders to Sailor so professionally as if she's been to Queen several times already. I mean, she's a merchant, she probably has. Seon was watching that and then tilted her head towards me and whispered, "Is that okay that we don't help her and just stand here?" I think she'd be insulted if we offered to help. I got surprised by her nonsense. If Adama from Pocheon and Yongbong helped them move the luggage and prepare the boat, it would stand out so much. That's going to harm Leader Kong. But she doesn't even take money for the boat and she doesn't let us work at all. I feel like it's a little too much getting all this help for free. Don't you think so? Well, certainly I got surprised and flustered every time Leader Kong suggested something for me. I've really freaked out a lot before. Whenever Leader Kong gives me expensive gifts or suddenly interrupts my work and helps me too much, I really wanted to say no to her. But now I'm kind of used to it, in a way. That's right. You're right. That's what I thought. But Leader Kong only helped me because she likes my personality for some reason. She's not helping us for you. How are you feeling bad about it? Don't trust your pretty face too much. Ha! 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 I directly called her pretty! Ha ha ha! Huh? Did I surprise you by calling you pretty? This is all because of This is all because of my charm and my connection. Okay. It's nothing to do with you. Seon opened her eyes wide and then smiled a little. But then I'll just thank you this time. Please give my gratitude to Leader Kong for me. Sure. You really have to tell her I'm thankful for this. Okay. After putting all the salt, Leader Kong gave a sign and some workers started to move a wagon with kids on it. As soon as getting on the boat, 7 girls all rushed out. But then only after seeing Seon's face, they covered their mouth and then squatted down under the rail. They still seemed a little scared, but I could feel that they are excited about this river breeze. The boat was much bigger than I thought, and it had 2 cabins which are more than enough for 20 people to eat and sleep while crossing the ocean. A boat with a big yellow sail smelled like a fresh pine tree mixed with salty water smell. Oh, that sounds so good. I could see that the sail was dyed with quality red clay. We are likely sitting with Seon right now. And you are talking about the boat? You're just as dense as I am sometimes. The captain of the boat struck a gong. As the crew waved the anchor, a rudder started to spin, and the boat started leaving the shore slowly along with the wind. Okay. Oh, pretty. Oh, prettier. I will behave. It would have been suspicious if we just sail the boat, so I purposely put a lot of luggage in it. We're going to anchor in Cheon and Konghwa main island for a little while, just so you know. It might be delayed for a while. Leader Kong stood in the wind and talked to me. Wait, Does choosing one not block off all the other routes? What is happening? But it was more for Seon, actually. Seon didn't ask at all about how long it's going to take and where do we anchor. She just looked at the horizon, leaning on the rail, even though she has to go back to Pocheong within a day or two. You're going to have seasick after a while. You better eat something while the water is still calm. Leader Kong didn't say anything else and then just looked at the land we just left. Her skirts were flapping so much by the wind that our inner skirt was showing, but her smile hasn't changed at all. Leader Kong grabbed her skirt and went back to where workers were. Soon some servants suggested me and Seon go back inside the cabin. I'm trying so hard to be faithful, and I do adore Damo, but like, she's so charming. Oh my god, this is not fair. Hey, stop. Why are you both my type? Oh my god. When we get inside, there were girls there spooked a lot. They were already having meals sitting together. When I look at it, they were eating dried fish, steamed rice ball, and some beef jerky. And it was a little. Then there was some wild berries in the middle. Nothing looked good enough to eat, but the girls looked around for a while and started eating up all that food. It must have been so hard to be sold everywhere. Soon I got the meal a little different from theirs. I got a bowl of alcohol. She fucking handed me a bowl of alcohol. Okay. Intentions are clear. And a bowl of cold water, beef, seasoned spring onion with young leaves, half of the braised spicy chicken, a date pickled with honey, and some fruit. Someone's spoiling me. In addition to that, I got the white rice that I don't even have often in the mainland. Seon got the same table with just less amount. Seon got surprised and asked the servant, "Are you sure this is the right meal for me?" She got a separate table since she can't eat the same table as me, which is dumb. We're on board a ship. Who the fuck cares? Sit with me. Whatever, but she felt flustered when she got the table for herself when she's just a government maidservant. You are so much more than what you think you are. The servant nodded and went out after indifferently saying that we should eat up before the floor starts shaking. I've never heard of having this luxurious feast on a boat. Well, Leader Kong is kind of loaded, so I felt flustered a little, so I was just holding chopsticks. Then I heard some voices whispering behind my back. Oh, hello, tiny ones. When I looked back, the bastard girls were looking at me blankly. They were either looking at the table or me. When they caught my eyes, they quickly looked down. Finally, one girl asked, "Sir, what is that on your table?" This? This is a date. No, it's not, because Seon's sitting all the way over there. Funny joke. But also sadness. I see. What is this? This is beef. I was about to eat after answering, but I could feel them still staring at me behind my back. I turned around again. This and this and this is chicken, alcohol, spring onion, and apple and rice. Done? As I explained them all and lifted Malame's spoon, they started whispering again. You think we can eat them if he doesn't finish them all? I think the guy from earlier would just get them out even if there's leftover, and the adults will eat them. They were talking something like this. What's interesting is that no one is talking to Damo Seon. I mean, it was even difficult for me to talk to her when I first met her, even though I'm quite shameless. Oh, good, we're on the same page with that. She's just a Damo, but she has this cold vibe that makes it hard for people to talk to her. It might be especially harder for kids then. Gosh, you're so loud. If you promise to be quiet for 10 minutes, I'll leave you some of my food. So we would just be quiet. Bastard girls were dumbfounded for a while and then started nodding in order. Oh, did they just go down the line just... The girl with the pink clothes raised her hand. I want chicken, sir. Only after Damo gave her a warning, that girl with the pink clothes got quiet. Where did she bring all these cheeky kids? While I started eating, shaking my head, I could still hear them whispering behind my back. Hey, don't. We don't get the food because of you. Even though I got the promise from them, the sound of their whispering was not that different from before. But I pushed my table away when I'm only half full. I couldn't eat that much considering I might have seasick later. Seon didn't say anything across the room, but she left all the food after eating some fruit and some meat. She didn't even touch her rice and side dishes. Do you want to taste some nice food? And Seon spoke up with a serious face. She was using the nicest voice she could make, but her face was so intimidating that no one dared step up. What? You said you wanted to eat these before. Now you don't like it? And I should just eat it all up, including the leftover from Damo's. As I rolled my sleeves and tried to sit before the table again, the bastard girls then got surprised and rushed to the table screaming. At the same time, the floor started shaking a little. Guess the boat is now completely on the ocean. It's cute. When it gets dark, the boat just circled around the same spot. They say the boat with products doesn't sail at night. Only a couple of crews were left to keep the rudder, and the rest are taking a nap or lying down on the deck to take a rest. The girls in the cabin got exhausted and quiet, and Dama was just laying down. I knew she would get hungry since she barely ate her meal. Inside, the cabin was quiet and moist. I think I know what these choices are, so I'm gonna save really fast. So I get the feeling that if we stay, we're gonna push Seon's route, but if we go out, we're gonna push Leader Kong's route. And just to test the theory, this doesn't mean we're gonna like flip over to Leader Kong. I just want to see what happens. We'll go right back out. We'll go right back to that save point again if this furthers Leader Kong's route. When I opened the door and headed out the cabin, I could feel the cold wind on my cheek. Since I was out on the boat all day, it tasted salty when I licked my lips. Leader Kong was looking at the ocean from the distance, and then she got surprised by my presence and turned around. She was putting her elbows on the rail, and now she slid her arms and leaned back on the rail. She smiled like it's her first time traveling on a boat. You feel stuffy inside? When I looked at the rear side of the deck, all the crews were already on the floor after eating food and drinking alcohol. They're sleeping early since they have to get up before the sun rises and start working. It would feel much better when you get some fresh air. You feel stuffy inside as well? Leader Kong got surprised by my innocent question and laughed. No way. I'm still so excited to be on the boat that I even forget that I'm tired. I understand that she likes to be on the boat so much, but is she still that excited to be on the boat? She's already been to Qing and she's been on the boat several times, going to lots of places like Wuzhou and Dongre to get products. Leader Kong shook her head with a mild smile like she just read my mind. For me, it always feels good like the first time. I first got on a boat when I was in Songdo. My first voyage, I got some Japanese silver from Dongre merchants and I made a big profit. My life has changed since then. Leader Kong looked at the dark water and shook her head. Her side hair near her ears swayed lightly by the wind. Before then, I was literally nothing. But since then, it only took 2 years for me to be the leader of Hanyang Songdan. Can you believe this? For you? For you, it's possible. Then I could hear Leader Kong inhale quietly in the dark. Was it too much to share? No. I like that you can talk to me comfortably, and a little bit forward sometimes. Neither of us said anything for a while. Leader Kong was leaning on the rail, blinking her eyes as if she's thinking of the old days. Wait, is she crying? Aww. The unfamiliar air made me think slower than on the mainland, especially since I could smell medicine herbs boiled down somewhere in the distance. Come to think of it, Dama looks like someone I knew from when I was in Songdo. Then Leader Kong started talking again in a while. Her eyes were still on somewhere far. She looks like the servant I brought to Hanyang before. Her name was Jia Woon. I gave that name to her. She's now in the place where she can never return. At the same time, the wind blew hard. An arm warmer got close from one... What? Arm warmer? Okay. An arm warmer got loose from one crew and Leader Kong let go of the rail. The wind is getting rough. You should get back inside now. Okay. I don't know if that forwarded the route along or not. With Leader Kong's polite bow, I went back inside the cabin. Inside the cabin was still so quiet. Wait, what? Okay, I think going out again is just going to like forward Leader Kong's route. We're not gonna do that this time, not for the first playthrough. I think I'm gonna like see Seon to the end because it's only fair, and I just feel like I feel so guilty like going after Leader Kong when like, I don't know. I'll do Leader Kong's route properly another time, but for now, let's reload the previous save and let's stay inside with Seon this time. But hey, now you got a peek of what Leader Kong's route is like, so let's stay inside this time. Talk to the girls, talk to Dama. Yeah, this probably definitely forwards her route along. Because I'm loyal, I know. A little hard to believe at times, but I am loyal. I will talk to Dama, and we are going to see her route through to the end for this first playthrough. We're going to talk to Dama. I went to Seon and cleared my throat quietly. Are you sleeping? Or are you just exhausted? Seon shook her head while lying down, but then she got worried it might look too rude and then sat up. You can lie down if you need to. It's of course that Seon is exhausted now. She gave her whole meal to those bastard girls. Could have eaten a little and then given them the leftovers. Why is she always so extreme? Do you want me to get you some food if you're exhausted? No, I'm good. Are you having a fever? I reached my hands to feel her forehead, but couldn't touch her. I just flinched my fingers around her forehead and then just took them back. Then Seon shook her head quickly with a surprised face. I certainly don't have a fever. I'm fine. I'm really so fine. Then the door opened with a thud. When I looked back, Leader Kong was smiling outside the Oh, so if you don't go out to her, she comes into Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, I was kidding about them fighting for my love. Come on. Oh my goodness. I am trying to be loyal here. Sir, I brought you some herbal tea. It's good for the seasick, so please have some. Even though you feel fine now, it'll feel better tomorrow if you sleep now. Leader Kong gave me a tray with a bowl of medicinal herbs, and she asked her servants to get the second tray. The bowl on that tray looked twice as big as mine. What is this? It's a large brass bowl full of medicine? There is another person who needs to have this medicine. Leader Kong took a glance at Seon. Aw, you're sweet. The second bowl was for Seon. It looked much darker and so much more than mine. Seon got perplexed and shook her head, but Leader Kong ignored and then put that bowl into Seon's hands. You seem to have a bad seasick. It's not something to hide or pretend to be fine. Who can fight against seasickness on their own? Don't try to fool me. Leader Kong laughed broadly like those who've been on the boat more than enough times for years and pulled out some pine needles from her sleeves. Then she put that on my mouth and Seon's mouth. With Leader Kong's behavior, Seon got surprised, considering that her fingers are basically in her mouth, yeah. But Leader Kong didn't care and smiled brightly at me. You should focus on chewing it. Get your fingers out of my mouth then. It will help the mild nausea go away. Leader Kong stopped on the way out and then talked to Seon again, grabbing the door with her hand. You too, Damo. Don't spit it out. Okay, what kind of fucking power play? I am loyal. The door was closed and Seon looked at the bowl awkwardly and then looked at me. Then I realized that Seon was even paler than usual and she's been biting her lips more often than usual. Seon drank the bowl up, then wiped her lips with a frown, then shook her head. We got a lot of help from her and she helped us get on the boat, so I didn't want to cause her more harm for her by exaggerating my pain. It's not that bad, you don't have to worry. I'm gonna fucking spoon feed that shit to you, I fucking swear. Seon bowed and asked for permission, then lied back down. Girl! I turned my back around. Inside the cabin was still quiet. I'm gonna talk to her purely for the route, but she's tired though. You know what, we'll talk to her. Maybe we can insist and freaking like get her to fucking drink up and get her healthy. I left those girls behind and went to Seon. She was lying down the whole time since she still has some seasickness, then she sat down again, leaning against the wall. Why did you sit up? I kept starting to think too much, so I was just going to watch those girls. What were you thinking? Seon hesitated for a while, then asked carefully. It's quite embarrassing to ask, but how much should I give you? Absolutely nothing. Didn't know what the hell she was talking about, and I realized later. The money for the boat could be considered as Leader Kong's generous gesture for me, so it's fine, but she still thinks she has to pay me for the request. I mean, she's not a stranger, so I don't really have to get the money from her. But with her personality, she won't just accept it when I tell her she doesn't have to pay. You can give me the Korean equivalent of a penny, whatever that is. She'll try to pay me even if I ask her to pay me a lot of money. Well, for me, it's better that you just cut my store some slack in the future than getting money. You know I will never do that. Gosh, how are you gonna save money when you're this bad at bargaining? If a person from the Poshang is good at bargaining, they will end up being corrupted. Why would I save money? I mean, other Damas are getting married. Aren't you going to get married? How are you gonna prepare your hope chest? Seon got surprised like she hasn't even thought about it at all. She looked at me and then shook her head feebly. How would I get married properly? Why? I'm too old already. How old are you? Aren't you 21? I think at some point in the game, like, they gave their ages, right? Aren't you and Juhi both 21? What the hell do you mean too old? I'm 22, hey! I'm too old already, and when I retire, I can be a concubine to any wealthy family. And if I'm a concubine, I don't have to prepare the hope chest. Okay, fair play to you if, like, you want to do sex work, but, like, you don't seem like you want to do that. You seem like you feel like you don't have any other options, but you do. I felt weird this time as well. A concubine to a wealthy family? It's quite surprising that she's thinking like other domos, and it felt awkward to imagine her like that because it doesn't fit her at all. Calculated indifferently with my hands and then looked up. I'll get 2 nyang with no discount. It's just the cost of cotton or hemp cloth, so you don't have to worry. Okay. Good compromise. Seoul nodded like she just got relief from her worries. Actually, I'm gonna look up really quickly what the equivalent of 2 nyang is in dollars because I don't know how expensive that actually is. Okay, I couldn't find anything that was really all too accurate, so let's just say it's not a lot in US dollars from what I've seen. But you also have to like take the time period into account, so I guess it's a lot-ish. I mean, if a boat is 20 nyang, and you can buy an entire boat with that. I guess it's a significant amount, but I guess not enough to like be too expensive. Seon nodded like she just got relief from her worries. Then she bowed to get permission, then lied back down. You don't need my permission to lie down. I looked at Seon's back for a while and turned around. I should get some sleep now. Even though I sleep a lot, I'll still be tired since I'm sleeping on a boat, and I have a lot of things to do tomorrow. So I should sleep now. I pulled one blanket, made a bed in the corner, and took off the gat. I could still hear some bastard girls whispering from the back, and I could feel the floor shaking on my flank. I fell asleep listening to the sound of the waves from the distance. Okay, cool, tighter card. Well, after that brief bout of temptation, yeesh. Oh, have we arrived? Apparently. New music, pretty. Be careful when you get off. If you fall, you might break your legs or teeth. Thanks, Seon. You could offer me your hand, but okay. With Seon's worry, bastard girls looked at each other for a while. Port Mbolemudo, where the boat docked, had a long bridge made out of wood, and it didn't have any rail. There were gravels and sand on the floor. Soon, one little girl jumped off to the floor. Girls, do you think there's a proper hospital on this island? You should get off carefully. Once that one girl got off, then they all started to just jump off the boat. Seon could hold some of them, but the rest of them just jumped off from the side. Seon looked at me and just shook her head slowly. We made those girls lining up on the shore, holding their baggage and waiting for a while. Leader Kong got off a little later. All the crew decided to stay in a boat and keep the luggage, so only Leader Kong, Damo Seon, and I were going to the island with the kids. The mild hill covered the grass was leading to a village with private houses. There were fallow grounds around the village where no one seemed to be able to farm properly, and some empty lots filled with grass. Bastard girls kept scratching their legs under their skirts and kept looking back at me. Each of them was holding a little baggage with the size of their own little head. Before long, the bastard girls kept talking to me. Sir, is it the right way? It's taking too long. How am I supposed to fucking know? Are we going to live here now, sir? Are you going back? Of course I'm going back. What did I do wrong to live with you on this island? And you should ask questions to Damo there. I purposely turned their attention to Seon. Seon is the one they really have to be thankful for, and the one who really worried about them. I felt a little awkward that they kept talking to me only. And then after a while, the chattiest one plucked up her courage and talked to Seon first. Damo? Are we really safe on this island? Yes. The girl shrugged her shoulders with a scared face. And when can we go back to Hanyang? Never. You'll have to hide here forever. Everyone got so quiet all of a sudden. Seon's answers were too raw, but at least they're honest. No one could even think of asking more questions anymore and just hiked up the hill of gravel. Forever? Yes, you won't be able to get back at all. Keep that in mind. The girls turned deadly pale and looked at me like they're asking for help. But I don't know if it's better to lie to the kids who are not going to be able to come back to Hanyang, or just tell them the truth like Seon. But if they asked me, I would have lied to them. Would have told them to wait for a few years and then they can go back to Hanyang. And Leader Kong was watching from behind and interrupted. No, you can go back. You can go back after your father dies. I mean, she's not wrong, I don't think. Sam looked at her doubtfully, but Leader Kong ignored and continued. That's about right. When your father dies, go back to Hanyang and lie to them confidently. The father gets to decide the status of his bastard daughter. So you can just claim that you were not Nobi and you were treated well as his daughter in a separate house. They don't usually record the status of their bastard daughters, so if you say you lived in a separate house, there is no witness or anything left after your parents die. Then you become what you lie. What if he dies late? Well, you just have to pay. Oh Oh god, I love Yuden so much. Well, you just have to pray for your father to die fast. Leader Kong caught each of the girls' eyes with a smile on her face. She wasn't making a joke, no, I believe that. She was giving them serious advice, but no one smiled or answered. Only the girls with pink clothes answered bravely. How can I know my master? No, I mean, oh god. That is, okay, you know you done fucked up as a parent when your kid, like, starts to think of you as, like, their master rather than their parent, and, I know what that's like, and it's not healthy, and I'm so sorry for all of them. Oh my god. How can I know my master? No, I mean, my father is dead when I'm on this island. If you have the courage to get out of this island and live in Hanyang, you'll hear things. That's weird. I mean, we have to go to Hanyang first to go to Hanyang? In a way, yes. Then that means we'll never go to Hanyang again. That's not true. You want to go back to Hanyang so desperately to risk your life, then you risk it. But if you don't, then you just live on this island. You can't always do what you want to do. I've risked my life to live in Hanyang and it was worth it, which we got a tiny piece of that story when I went out to go see her. Then Dama pulled their hands. You have to live here until you become adults. Then when you become 18, send me a letter by boat. Then you'll live in the mainland. But you won't be able to come to Hanyang, so don't even think about it. You two are like, okay, I know they're not together, but they're like they're like two moms who's just like, go ask your mother. Honestly, like, if I wasn't like a love interest for either of them, I could see them becoming like a really cute couple together, honestly. They'd be so cute. Oh my goodness. You know, I kind of hope, actually, whoever I end up with, I'm thinking it's Damo so far. Like, I'm gonna try to go that way. But I hope the other girls, like, find people as well, or maybe they end up dating each other. That would be so cool, actually, because I can see some of them, like, being really well suited to each other. Seon told them with a strict voice like she has no feelings at all and then started walking again. I could see the house of a couple I saved before, and then at the same time, a small boat docked on the bay. After a while, someone came running from behind and looked for Leader Kong. Ma'am, Butler wanted you to see this right away. Butler Zhang. Everyone stopped for a second. Leader Kong read the letter with a frown on her face and then bit her lips. Came here even though she was too busy to come here with me. Something must have happened. Leader Kong folded the letter and looked at me. I'm so sorry, Mr. Hisu. Think I should get going now. No, don't be sorry. We owe you big time. I'll get back with the big boat we took when we got here, so you can use the small boat that just came here on the bay. That boat doesn't stop by many places, so you'll be able to go back before tomorrow. Leader Kong gave orders to that errand boy so that the small boat can wait and then kept bowing. Bowing? Something. She hurried down the road. But then, when Leader Kong was halfway down on that slope of gravels, suddenly I could hear little rocks rolling down the slope. The little head of a kid went past me under my arm, and I could see the back of a little bastard girl running so hard, not even realizing that his shoes went off. Ma'am, please, take me with you. I'm going back to Hanyang. Let me go with you. Aww, aww. Everyone got surprised. As Leader Kong turned around, the bastard girl sank down and grabbed Leader Kong's skirt. Probably what she said, like, stuck out to her, like, if you want to go back, then you go back. That's so good. I want to risk my life and live in the mainland. I won't be hiding. I didn't do anything wrong. Why do I have to hide on an island? Her voice was shaking and the girls were at her last gasp. Leader Kong looked at us for a little while as if she was waiting for a little. It's like she was saying if anyone else wants to come with her, they can come now. The rest of the kids all hid behind Dama or looked up at me but didn't move. Leader Kong held that little girl in her arm and bowed at me, then went down the slope again. Aww, that's actually really sweet. We'll take care of her, I've no doubt you will. Aww, that was a really sweet moment actually. I love it. The couple I saved before was living on a small farm. That little puppy became a big dog now tied in the corner of the yard. Please let me see the dog. The couple was so delighted to greet us even though we just visited them without a word. They even tried to offer all the food in the house. As soon as they hear about the girl's story, they were so willing to help them live on this island. I was embarrassed that I got even worried about it even for a while. Not just one or two kids, but all these kids are sticking together, so there was nothing to worry about. Now, my 2 nyang worth of work has done. I negotiated the fee to be 2 nyang with Seong last night. It was not a lot of money, but I felt like I finished my work since I'm getting paid. And I think this is a text where it's like, in case you didn't stay inside with Seon. I guess this is catching us up on that. When I was talking to myself and turned around, the bastard girls were waving their hands at us. Seems sad that we're leaving. I only spent a couple of days with them, but their faces are already so familiar since I was with them all day. Are you going to visit us? Sure, I'll come visit you sometime. I haven't even been here for the last 5 years, but I just nodded first. Seon spoke up next to me as well. I can't come here every year, but I'll visit around this time and see how you're doing, so don't worry. I know Seon really means it. I was looking at Seon's face and then shouted to those girls again. You heard her! Aren't you gonna say thank you to this Damo here? Thank you, Damo! Kids say thank you in order, giggling themselves. Seemed sad when the girl with the pink clothes left, but they all seem much better now. Seong was vaguely smiling, but she turned away without saying a word. When she turned her back, she kept walking and didn't turn back again. I turned around a couple more times and then followed Seon. That was really cute. Seon didn't say anything until we arrived at the shore. She just exhaled at once and lowered her head after we went down. Then the errand boy who was waiting for us near the boat came running and bowed before us. The wind suddenly got stronger. I think we have to wait a little and then try to leave when the wind dies away. Is it okay if we wait for a little? He was just a servant who's in charge of chores, but his clothes were quite nice since he belongs to Songbong. He bowed with a smile and then stepped back. Seon got perplexed and bowed back at him. When she was at the scene as a Damo, she doesn't even bow that much before Yongbon, but since she didn't come here as a Damo, she's showing a lot of behaviors I haven't seen before. Seon raised her head and then walked for a couple of steps and then turned back at me. Do you want to go for a walk while waiting? Sure. When I followed her, I could hear the gravel moving under my feet. Yeah, she is definitely, okay, for anyone who's looking to pursue her as well, she is definitely probably likely the slowest route. I don't know about Iljim, maybe? I don't know if Iljim is like slow as well, but Seon's route is definitely the slowest. Leader Kong feels like a whirlwind romance, and Juhee? I don't know about Juhee. Seon is definitely the slowest, but that just means she'll be so much more worth it later, so. Alright, I'll wait. Seong waited for a little and then started walking again. Can I give you that Tunyang slowly? But I'll pay you at once instead. Sure, you can give me any time you want. I won't add any interest as long as you pay me this year. Seon stopped from a distance, then looked at me in the wind. By the way, sir, is it really Tunyang worth of work? Why? Are you worried I might rip you off? No, it's just... I'll act the same as before when we get back. If you interrupt the Poshong's work or if Inspector Park is doing something wrong, I'll stop it as always. I'll do it even though you helped me. Aren't you going to feel upset then? I wonder if that Tunyang is really enough for this request. I mean, I'll be sad, but I'll understand. I stopped as well. Seon is seriously asking me about it. Her dark eyes were all on me. I realized I shouldn't just joke around and fizzled it out. The girls asked me if I'm going to come back. I said yes. Before that, when Leader Kong asked me to promise I won't do anything risky, I said yes right away as well. But with all those things I've agreed on, I barely kept my words. But Seong would believe whatever I say. I'm not used to debating, to be honest, but I did. Tried to find an honest answer. You're right. You figured out that Tunyang were too little, huh? Yes, that's what I thought. I'm actually fine if you don't pay me at all. Huh? I mean, I would be so confused if you suddenly became a different person for some money. I've known your personality and what you think for years. I would be so confused if you started acting differently. I don't care how much money you pay me. Do you really think I'll get upset for you being who you are? As I was talking, I actually felt a little frustrated. I've been so nice to her like this. How can she say that for that little amount of money? I clicked my tongue, grabbing my fan. I'm actually upset by what you just said. What do you think of me? I mean, I know I've been quite petty. We love a petty bitch. But how can you see me as a dishonorable guy? No, sir, it's not like that. Seon got flustered and came to me, but I stepped back and acted like I'm really upset. Then what? Why would I be upset about getting less money from you? Hey, Seon, do you think I'm crazy about money? I understand that you disdain and look down on me, but you should just keep it in your head. Got it? You don't talk bad in front of that person. What do you mean I disdain and look down on you? You know I don't. Huh. I already know what you're thinking. I think we're just slowly pushing her to be a little more honest. We don't mean shit of this. There's no point in making an excuse. I wasn't upset anymore, but I just kept making fun of her. Then Seon got flustered and shook her head. No, that's not what I'm thinking. I have... You have what? At the same time, the strong sea breeze suddenly blew, so I had to grab my gat not to fly away by the wind. I could hear some rocks on the shore rolling. In the meantime, Seon's eyes were on me, unmoved. Oh, hi! I have feelings for you. Finally, oh my god! Ah! Oh my god, I thought you were never gonna say anything. I have feelings for you too. Are we gonna pan out or are you just gonna be stuck on your lips? Because I don't mind either way. Nope, we're just gonna be stuck on your lips. And as the wind died away, I felt seasick on the land. Huh? Oh, cute, we actually get to see her face. I'm gonna say her eyes are purple because, like, that's the sheen I've been getting. They're so pretty. And it's my favorite color. Destiny. Finally. Why would I disdain and look down on you? I dared to have a feeling for you as a man. Seon's voice was shaking. My heart sank with the word man. I started shaking my head before even thinking about what just happened. I didn't realize what I've done, so I just stood there blankly. In the meantime, the wave was going down. Fucking just tell her. Soon the water was completely calm. I could hear people talking from the back and the footstep of an errand boy getting closer. We can go now, sir. I don't want to go. I caught Seon's eyes again, and I don't know why. I suddenly felt pressure on my chest. Couldn't look up. Seon seemed so lonely and forlorn standing alone that any guy would have come right away and hold her hands. She looked at me. But I can't be the one for her. Even a 40-year-old married guy can be the one, but it can't be me who is a woman. That's wrong. No. When I looked up, Seon was biting her lips, looking like she was about to cry. Wait, do I think it's wrong, like, for societal reasons or for personal reasons? Because there is a big difference. No. I'm sorry, sir. I want to tell you so bad. Seon's voice was so sorrowful that I couldn't stand it. Suddenly, I felt like I did something wrong. You kind of did, by not telling her why. No, I guess I joked too much around you. That's why you're joking and making fun of me right now, right? My chest is also tightening up a lot. Like, this actually hurts. And the music just cut out. I looked down at the bottom and turned around. My eyes got blurry. When I approached the boat, the crew pulled me up, but I couldn't think of anything. Like, all my memories got wiped out. As we left the island, Seon and I didn't say a word at all. Oh no, no. Sympathy for Seon. Oh no. Is that in the next part of her route? Oh god. Seon. Reviewing for the Seon episode A has been unlocked. Oh, good. So we were doing a route of hers. We almost got sidetracked though. Okay, my heart literally cannot take any more. Well, good news. She confessed. Bad news. I rejected her. Oh no. Okay, now I'm kind of glad that I did a route because I don't know how we're gonna fix this. I don't know how we're gonna make this right or if it's even possible at all. Like, is Seon's route one of those where it's like, because I know there's like potential for like bad endings. Is there like no possible good ending for her route? I don't know. Okay, I really gotta see this through to the end now. Oh my goodness. Ow, my heart. Thank you so much for having me watching this. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out. Until next time. Bye.